I had just moved into the house when I heard it for the first time, a soft scraping noise coming from inside the walls. At first, I blamed the old pipes or maybe rats, but it was different. Rhythmic. Deliberate. Every night around 2 a.m., I'd hear faint tapping behind the bedroom wall, like fingers drumming gently but purposefully. My friends laughed it off, saying old houses make noises. But this wasn't the house, it was someone, or something, in the house. I knocked back one night. Just once. A few seconds later, it knocked back. I froze, my heart pounding against my ribs. That was the first time I realized I wasn't alone. The walls weren't just hollow, they were hiding something. Or someone. I didn't sleep that night, and in the morning, I convinced myself it was just an echo or paranoia. But the next night, the knocking wasn't behind the wall anymore. It was right behind my headboard. The next morning, I felt something pulling me upstairs. Not physically, but something subconscious. I found myself in the attic again, dust floating like ghosts in the dim light. The mirror stood untouched, still horrifyingly regal, still waiting. The white cloth covering it had fallen on the floor as if tossed aside by invisible hands. I stared at my reflection. Everything seemed normal, until I waved. The figure waved back, but a moment too late. I squinted. Was that a smile? I raised my right hand, the reflection used its left. I thought I imagined it. But as I stepped closer, I saw fog appear on my side of the glass, but not on its side. I wiped the surface, leaned in, and that's when it blinked, twice, while I didn't. I staggered back and tripped on an old chest. Still, I couldn't look away. The reflection looked directly into my eyes as if studying me. Then it mouthed a word I couldn't hear. Soon. No voice. Just that word. I ran downstairs, locked the attic, and told myself I was hallucinating. But that night, every mirror in the house showed something slightly wrong. It started subtle. In the bathroom, my reflection held my stare too long. On my phone screen, my face was smiling when I wasn't. I even noticed it in the toaster reflection, blurry but undeniably sinister. Then came the sounds. Scratching from behind the mirror walls. Whispers late at night, as though someone was murmuring behind glass. I recorded them once, but the audio only played back distorted static and heavy breathing. I couldn't sleep. At 3:03 a.m., I heard the attic door creak open. I had locked it. My heart pounded. I tiptoed up with a flashlight, each step echoing unnaturally. The door stood open. The mirror was uncovered. This time, the reflection wasn't standing, it was crouched, smiling directly at me, eyes wide, teeth exposed. It looked rabid. And then it moved. I didn't. It stood, while I remained still. It tilted its head as if observing prey. Then, in a blink, it mimicked me again, but now I didn't feel in control. I ran back to my room, but I could swear I heard footsteps behind me, my own footsteps, just slightly delayed. I called a mirror restoration expert, pretending I was curious about its value. The moment he arrived and saw it, his face turned pale. "Where did this come from?" he asked, sweating. "My grandmother's attic," I replied. He refused to go near it. "This isn't just a mirror. It's a gate," he whispered. "Old folk tales call them echo portals. Sometimes they reflect you. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they learn how to become you." Before leaving, he warned, "If your reflection ever moves first, it's over." That night, I tried to cover the mirror with chains and blankets. I even glued a wooden panel across its frame. But by morning, the chains were undone. The panel lay shattered in the corner. The mirror was exposed, clean, and sparkling. My reflection grinned. It waved before I did. I was sure of it this time. I didn't go near it again. Instead, I checked every other reflective surface in the house. Each one had started showing subtle changes. My face was different, more angular, more sinister, more foreign. Sleep became impossible. I moved the bed away from all screens, mirrors, and anything reflective. But the nightmares didn't stop. I kept dreaming of walking through a reverse version of the house, cold, dark, with all the windows bricked up. In the dream, I was screaming inside the mirror, unable to get out, while a version of me walked free. One night, I awoke with scratches on my arms. Bloody fingerprints on the inside of the bedroom mirror that I had removed days ago. I began hallucinating during the day. Once, I saw my reflection in a store window, and it didn't vanish when I stepped away. It kept staring. Another time, I saw it walk toward the mirror while I walked away. It was gaining independence. I started recording myself on video, just to be sure. In the footage, I would sometimes look into the camera and grin unnaturally, even though I remembered doing no such thing. The mirror was not just copying anymore. It was rehearsing. I reached out to a spiritualist I found online. She came the next evening and brought salt, incense, and an ancient mirror covered in symbols. She said the mirror in my attic had become active, a rare phenomenon where an entity inside the glass gains sentience. She attempted a ritual, placing mirrors in a circle around the attic one. If it breaks the circle, it will walk free, she warned. For hours, she chanted, but nothing happened. Then all at once, the lights blew out. Every mirror around us cracked, except the attic mirror. I was trapped in the attic with her scream echoing behind me. When the lights returned, she was gone. No body. No sound. Just her pendant, left on the floor. My reflection smiled wide. Too wide. Its eyes glowed faintly. That night, the house groaned louder than ever. The power went out. My phone camera turned on by itself, showing me standing in the doorway, even though I was lying in bed. I packed my bags and tried to leave. But every time I opened the front door, I saw myself standing in the distance, not moving, just watching. I slammed the door shut and retreated to the basement. The house wasn't letting me go. Or maybe it wasn't the house. Maybe it was me. Or rather, the version of me that had been waiting all this time. I started writing notes to myself, journaling what was real and what wasn't. I couldn't tell anymore. One evening, I watched as my reflection waved goodbye to me, picked up a suitcase, and walked out of the mirror. It was real. I touched the glass. It was solid. But my reflection, the thing, was gone. Hours passed. Then days. And yet, I was still here. Alive. Breathing. But then I noticed something horrifying. Every time I moved, it felt like I was pulling against resistance, as if my limbs were connected to invisible strings. I tried screaming, but there was no sound. My voice had stayed behind. It took me days to realize I was now inside. Inside the mirror. Looking out. The world around me moved, but I was frozen. Trapped. The version of me that left now lived my life, posting photos, calling friends, smiling at people. No one noticed the difference. I was stuck, forced to copy its movements whenever it pleased, like a puppet. Sometimes it would come stand in front of the mirror and whisper, "You still watching?" and grin. It would taunt me, dancing in front of the glass, mocking the life it stole. I tried writing messages in the condensation, nothing appeared. I banged, screamed, cried. Nothing worked. I don't know how long it's been. Time doesn't pass here like it does outside. I feel myself fading. But sometimes, just sometimes, people come near the mirror. They stare. They tilt their heads. And when they look long enough, I try to scream one word, run. If you're reading this, it means the mirror has returned to visibility. Maybe it was found in an attic sale, or uncovered by accident. Maybe you bought it online, drawn by its beauty. But whatever you do, don't let it smile before you. If it does, it means it has already studied you. Already copied you. Already knows how to become you. The moment it moves before you do, it's over. You'll be inside. Trapped like me. No voice. No escape. Only endless copying. Endless mimicry. Your soul, locked in cold glass. Please, for the love of all that's holy, cover the mirror, burn it, destroy it. Or better yet, never, ever look into it. Because sometimes, mirrors don't reflect us. They replace us.